Start streaming. All right, here we go. We are live. Hello, hello, hello. All right. I was just looking at my previous stream, which is the last thing that I did on their channel. It's been 27 days. 27 days since I was live. It's crazy, man. Pretty crazy. Anyway, how's it going? I'm going to pop out the chat here because I'm going to be doing some moving around of things here and there. Pardon me. I was saying to CL earlier, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I can be like sinus good and free all day long. And within 20 minutes of doing the stream, I am like stuffed up and I've got the itchy nose. And it's just a big old pain in the patootie. So tonight, we're going to talk about some stuff. And contrary to the thumbnail, there is no need for you to share your terror stories tonight. It just kind of is a theme that we're going to talk about. Starting the stream, I know. All right. So, in the last stream, in our last episode, Justus was having a identity crisis, and yeah. So in the last live stream that I did here, I was talking about how going forward with this channel and going forward with the YouTube and everything else, that I really wanted to do something that was reflective more of me, more reflective of stuff that I want to do, and that really this channel is going to become a whole lot of just kind of doing stuff that I want to do and who I am, and which means if you're only here for light novels, I'm probably going to see you leave, and I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry to see that, but I mean, I can't control it. In fact, funny enough, since posting the thumbnail for this live stream, I've lost like 30 people within like a 30-hour period. I think that might actually beat my record with Minecraft in terms of losing viewers and subscribers within a single post. But whatever, hey, that's how things go sometimes. So, anyway, we're going to cut to the chase. So, first off, I need to do something first. So, announcement time. As of tonight, I am going to be shutting off YouTube memberships on my channel. Mainly because since everything is kind of changing and because of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about, I just don't think it's fair to keep doing it because it's really not what people have signed up for, and I'm not doing the stuff that people decided to sign up for and support me in. So I'll be turning YouTube memberships off tonight. However, does that mean Justus is disappearing off of YouTube, off of the internet, yada yada yada? No, not at all. In fact, Justus has got a new plan that is very much being assisted. Well, no, it's not assisted. It is a joint project between myself and CL. Really what it boils down to is that CL and I really liked working together, but we decided we really wanted to work on a project that we started from scratch together, that we both could equally enjoy, and that we would both equally like to work on. And that kind of tied into stuff that we all enjoy, that we both like to do, and into creation that we want to see happen. Pardon me while I duck off camera for a second. Like I said, this is probably going to happen a few times. I really hate my sinuses. It causes me great grief. So, what does that mean? All right, well, we're going to do a little bit of switcheroos here. So we're just going to jump right into it. So tonight, I would like to introduce you all to Restless Shadows. This is the joint project between CL and I. And yes, I know it says it does not have any content, which it doesn't. It doesn't have any content because, why would I be prepared ahead of time with content? I should just make this some kind of canon thing where I just disappear from stream. Like people are like, "Where'd he go?" And I'm just wiping my nose. Anyway, so Restless Shadows is going to be a combination of a couple of things. So obviously narrated ghost stories, horror stories, that kind of stuff. Not new on YouTube by any stretch. In fact, CL and I have done a lot of research on that, but we want to do our own take on it. So basically, we're looking to do mostly just paranormal, like ghost stories. We're going to be reading some classic stuff. So, stuff that's like 100 years old, stuff that really laid the form for what we consider the modern ghost story. We are writing original stuff. So this is where, like I said from the last stream, I was saying I wanted to get back into writing and stuff like that. So it's going to be original work on the channel. CL is going to be doing some of the editing, probably most of the editing because she's way better at it than I am, and using some of the skills that she learned doing some of my videos, so different sound design stuff. So we're kind of hoping that instead of it just being pure narration, that it's also got some sound effects, it's got some music, like it'll have more of an atmosphere to it. But we both have really loved like ghost stories, just ghost stories, not like, splatterfests or crazy human killers or that kind of stuff. Because honestly, people just suck in general. So whatever, man. So we don't want to deal with real people stuff. So it's going to be mostly like ghost stories, paranormal stuff. This avatar here, we're actually working on a little bit of a lore for this character. So basically it's going to be a narration channel. It's going to be classic ghost stories, original ghost stories, and if any of you or anybody else who becomes a fan of Restless Shadows decides or wishes to, we've got a website that I've set up. See, I've done a lot of, I haven't created any content, but I've done all the legwork about other stuff. We do have a website, restlessshadows.com. Links for all this stuff is actually now in the description of this live stream. And you can go to submissions, which, look at that. Now, you can submit your own story. So, basically, if you decide that you want CL or I to narrate the story, read it on YouTube, do it up, we're going to do that. And for those of you who are authors, we would love to, of course, link back to anything that you write, stories and so forth. So that would be part of it. We'd also love to team up with people, like if you do original music that's kind of creepy, that kind of stuff. Hey, we'd love to do that. Visual artists, we could use it as like a prompt, anything. One of the things that we see in a lot of these horror narrations channels is that they're just reading stuff off of Reddit. And some of them are very clearly reading stuff that people have submitted to be narrated. Others seem a little more loosey-goosey in terms of how much permission they have on all of this. So we really just want to do stuff that's, clear, that everybody's like, yep, it's my stuff and I want you to read it. Not like we're just trolling people and reading their stuff. I've got the little thing here, by submitting your story, you confirm you own the rights and that you're able to grant permission to us to make use of it. And we really just want to try and do stuff that's going to be original to the channel, that it's not just going to be stuff that it's like, yeah, I read that on Reddit, or yeah, 18 other narration channels have read that same story. I really don't want it to be that kind of thing. We're looking to experience new stuff, new stories. One of the things, if you've been a long-time viewer of this channel, that I lamented for a long time with light novels that we had officially in English, that we really didn't have any like ghost stories. Like, there's paranormal ones and stuff like that that we never got and still don't have. I think the haunted bookstore is the closest thing we have, and even that I wouldn't really consider that much of a, like, it's not like, paranormal investigators or really like scary stories. Pardon me while I take a sip of water. So so basically we're looking to try and do like these kind of paranormal ghost stories. And yeah, so that is the new thing that I'm going to be working on. So we do have recorded a trailer. CL's going to be editing that. We've got a list of, I don't know, CL, what do we have? Like 30 plus sort of little ideas that we've listed out based on either just off the top of our head or life experience or stuff like that, that we're going to be expanding and putting out. So, I mean, we've got a whack ton of original content already that we're working on. And then we've got a whack ton of, classics that we're going to be reading. Man, there's some amazing stuff that you don't even realize how old it is because you're just so familiar with it. So we have a ton of stuff, of content. Pardon me. We believe that Omicron paid a visit to our household, and all of us have just been, thankfully not too sick, but sick enough. And it just has now become that pain in the ass kind of thing. Anyway, so there's Restless Shadows. So there's the YouTube channel. Obviously, it'd be amazing if people would subscribe. I know there's no material there right now, but there is. The plan is that we're going to have the trailer up there within this week, and then we're going to be posting content there every week. We would love to be at the point where we can get 2 pieces of content up there a week. I think that's kind of the goal in sight, but we'll have to build up to that. I'll be honest, this whole Omicron thing, so my workplace, I'm currently an operations manager for an ambulance dispatch center. That's been since August of last year. Before that, I was like a communications officer. And that was like, yeah, it's been nuts, guys. It's been nuts. Can the stories be based off of past lives? Well, you know what? It can be whatever you want. It can be a true story. It can be completely made up. It could be like something that you experienced in a fever dream. Like really, it's up to you. Like I said, the only thing that we are really trying to stick with are more like paranormal, more like ghost, phantomish, spirit type stories. Not, we don't want to have stories about serial killers or, the creepy dude that you gave a lift to in an Uber or that kind of stuff. I mean, man, the world is scary enough with the things that we know are true and real and that involve crazy people and people that are just sick and gross and evil. Man, there's enough of that crap. I don't mind being a little bit spooked, but I'd rather it be something that is still somewhat fun. Crazy, insane people are not fun. I never have that as fun. But, yeah, like, yes, and that's, CL just put that in the chat, and that's exactly a point. Like, if it's fiction, I mean, even if it's not fiction, even if you're kind of like, oh, I have this thing that happened to me, and I don't think it's really that crazy or interesting, but I kind of have an idea how it could be something bigger, you can do that too. Like, that's actually what we've done with a lot of these sort of initial ideas that we have. We're kind of expanding on real life events and things that we were like, happened that, when you sort of apply a logical mind to it, you're like, that probably wasn't a ghost or anything. But you're kind of like, but it's a good basis for making a good ghost story. So that's totally the kind of stuff that we want to we'd love to see writers just kind of play with the idea of ghost stories, do whatever you want. And again, like, this isn't even, I mean, whether you end up submitting it to us or not, it doesn't matter. Do it for fun. Like, that's kind of, this is part of the reason that we wanted to do this. Part of the reason I wanted to do this. I've really focused so much on trying to write novels and trying to write like longer form fiction. And what this channel is kind of affording me is the ability to write shorter stuff and to write stuff in different genres that I really haven't done before. Like, I've really been very much of like a fantasy genre kind of writer. Whether it be urban fantasy, I wouldn't say so much high fantasy, more like urban fantasy, post-apocalyptic type stuff. That's what I've really just kind of written. But this is like something completely different. It's a totally different genre than what I've written before, and yet it's something that I'm experienced enough with that I know that I'd like to do more stuff with it and that I would enjoy it. CL, I'm telling you, is like the boss pro star when it comes to ghost stories. Like, she's way more knowledgeable than I am. She in particular has been like sort of spearheading the look at classic ghost stories and saying like, these are authors that we definitely should look at. These are like some great stories that we should read, because she's got all that knowledge. So yeah, it's really very much a group team effort between the two of us. And it's kind of really speaking to things that we've enjoyed doing. Whether it was like CL playing with different voices when she did the Doki Doki playthrough, whether it be me enjoying doing those live readings where I narrated sort of like the previews of light novels. Like, these are all things that we've liked doing. And so this is a channel. The idea behind this channel is sort of allowing us to do what we've really wanted to do, and doing things that we enjoy and kind of combining them all into a single thing. So that is what's happening. In terms of my channel, the Justus R Stone channel, as I said at the start of this, I really just sort of intend this channel to be my channel. Like, I'll still live stream here and there. I'll still post things. I'll talk about what I'm writing, maybe give a little bit behind the scenes stuff on Restless Shadows. Not a ton, but, little stuff here and there. Probably more just talking about the writing of it and stuff like that. Like, it's funny because, you have this idea. So CL and I started this. We had this idea, I guess it goes back to before Christmas, might even be like to November. But in any case, it goes back a little bit longer. This isn't just something we decided over the last 2 weeks. But it's funny because we had this real challenge to come up with what to call it. Because, you want it to be something that's cool, that kind of speaks to what you're doing, but you don't want it to be the same as like what a million other people have chosen. And oh my goodness, honestly, we went through so many different ideas for names and stuff like that, and like all of them so taken. Restless Shadows, I don't know how it happened, but man, we came up with that, and the two of us were just like, yeah, like, because it's ghost stories and like things out of the corner of your eye, and was that my shadow? Is that someone else's shadow? Like, totally what we were looking for. And there was like the no YouTube channel called Restless Shadows. RestlessShadows.com was available as a website. I mean, it just kind of seemed meant to be, Justus R Stone, RS, Restless Shadows, RS. Yeah, I know that's kind of maybe a little stretch, but still, man, like, it just felt like that's it. This is totally it. So we've got, if you go over to the Restless Shadows YouTube channel, like I said, the link is in the description of this down below, or you can go to the website, restlessshadows.com, Restless Shadows, all one word. You've got like links I've already set up, like, admittedly, There's nothing on them yet, but I mean, I was like, okay, I was so in love with this idea. I was like, man, I set up like the YouTube channel, set up a Twitter account, Instagram, Facebook. Um, I mean, I even set up a Patreon account, which I don't honestly expect anybody to join. If you feel like you want to, go ahead. But I did it just because I'm like, someday I'm probably going to want to have a Patreon, and I'm going to do it while nobody's taken the name Restless Shadows. Because again, like, you kind of think to yourself, like, if this gets big, I just want to make sure, like, that we just get like the stuff set up so that one day, like, and I know all of you, like those of you who've been around for a long time, you're like, Justice, you were on Patreon, then you shut down Patreon because you wanted to go to YouTube. Now you're shutting down your YouTube memberships, and now you're opening another Patreon. I know. But the thing about Patreon, and I'll tell you this honestly, if you want to share like live streams and videos with your members, YouTube memberships, I would say, is better. Pardon me. However, because most of this is going to be like the story is the thing, so it's either written or it's more like the recordings, like an MP3 type thing. Patreon is a way better way of sharing that with people. So that's why I decided, if we were ever going to do any kind of crowdfunding thing, it'll be through Patreon. And like I said, I set it up because I'm like, with my luck, I'll get to the point where I wanted to set up a Patreon for Restless Shadows and somebody will have already stolen the name. And then I'll be like all bummed out and be like, I wish I had done it when I thought of it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, like I've got like Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, I got it all set up and there's nothing there on any of them. I just did it so that, it was ready to go. You got to plan ahead. Like it's so funny. Will I be the one to narrate the stories? I will be narrating. I believe CL is also going to narrate some stories. Yeah, so yes, it is going to be at least us. Like that is the idea. It's going to be narrated. We would love, like, pardon me again, like my stupid sinus is bothering me here. Like, maybe I shouldn't speak for CL, but I'm pretty sure she'd agree with me. We'd love if we got big enough that we could do some animated stuff. Like, that would be awesome. As it is, we are, we were using Motion Array before for my channel, for things like music, sound effects, stuff like that. Some of the special effects that CL took advantage of in some of the videos. It's a paid service, but they offer some like really high quality, high end stuff. So we are going to be making use of that so that even though the video component isn't going to be like the primary focus, obviously it's the story. We'll be probably using mostly stock for the video aspect of it initially. It's still, we're hoping that it's going to be higher quality stuff. We'd like, once it's not, -30 where we live, there are places where we could go to like, film stuff ourselves. We've even talked about doing that, maybe finding some abandoned houses to just film either outside or whatever, or, just like, I mean, this is kind of what I said to CL is that with where my channel is or has been, there hasn't been a lot of room to really be creative and do different things. Restless Shadows, part of like my desire for this is that even though, yes, okay, it's niche in terms of being like ghost stories, there's so much you can do and still be on brand. You know what I mean? Like, whether it be everything, like one of the things that CL and I just like recently, well, CL got into it and then she of course told me about it and I wanted to get on it too. Analog horror. Like, I'm not saying that's definitely something we're going to do, but I'm just saying like, horror is such a like, and I mean, yes, okay, we're trying to focus on paranormal, but that whole genre is so open to so much stuff. Because we're like, we can do our own stories, we can do our own writing, we can do narration, we can play with things like the music we use. We can change voices in our audio programs so that even though it's all me reading it or all CL reading it, still can be like sound like it's a different person. We can have sound effects. We can do that kind of stuff. We can grab our GoPro and hit the road and go film things. Like it, and it allows you to do all that stuff, and yet it's still on brand. It still fits with the channel. It still allows you to be really creative, and yet you aren't going against brand. And that's kind of the experience that, like, the last couple months with my own channel here, that I've kind of come to realize is that, there are definitely people that will support you regardless. And God bless those people. God bless you people that are doing that. There's been a select few people still hanging in with the YouTube membership, supporting me, even when I haven't been doing the stuff that they signed up for. And I can't thank those people enough, because, those are the people that you really appreciate and make you feel like you're more than just the content, that they're actually there to support you as a person, not just, give me light novel reviews or go to hell kind of thing, like you kind of feel like these are the people that are really invested in you as a creator. And I appreciate that so much. Like, that I don't think that gets said enough. So, it really means a ton. And that's part of, I guess, the reason why I'm like shutting down the memberships as of tonight, because I was kind of like, I feel bad because I'm like totally starting to focus so much time and energy on Restless Shadows that I'm like, this channel, I still, like I said, I'm going to be here, but I really, this is going to be like my hangout channel, this is where I'm going to be to, like, yeah, I'm going to play Minecraft sometimes. I'm going to just sit here and shoot the breeze like I've done in the past. Maybe I will read stuff. Maybe I will talk about a book I'm reading. Maybe I'll talk about something else. You never know. But this channel has already been kind of infrequent, and it's probably going to be even more so. But, I like having this place. I like having this space. I like having a place where I can go and, God, I almost was like, I mean, Cheers, I know, is an older show. Like, not maybe everybody who watches the channel is familiar with Cheers, but there was like the main theme song was like, sometimes you gotta go where everybody knows your name. And that's like totally, I was just thinking that as I was like talking about that. And that's kind of one of those things with Restless Shadows is like, Restless Shadows, we want it to be the brand, Restless Shadows. We're not looking at to be CL or Justice, right? But that's why this channel will still be here, because sometimes you just want to be who you are. You just want to be Justice. You just want to talk about things. You just want to be like, you don't want to have to be on brand. And so that was kind of like I talked in my last live stream about that idea of making this channel me, because the brand should be who I am. And so, yeah, guess what? I'm multifaceted. So the channel's going to be kind of multifaceted. It's going to be that kind of a way, but that is how it is. So yeah, that's kind of like the big talk for tonight, is just how things are changing, how they're going to change, why they're changing. And as I said, like, really it's really just to do a project that both CL and I can feel really good about, that we can enjoy, that really sort of focuses on things that we like, and has flexibility that we can do other things if we feel so inclined and still be on brand. You know what I mean? That is the goal, right? That's the goal. That's the desire. And so that's where we're going with all of this. So, I don't really know what else to say, because like really this was the big reveal. of everything, of the new YouTube channel as well as the new website, putting it out there that if you're in any way a creator and this sounds like something you'd like to be a part of, we would love to involve you in some way. We would love to be able to promote any work that you do that would be, would fit into this theme. Because, let's face it, like creators, it's one thing that I haven't done a lot of is the collaboration. And I mean, it's just because really this channel that I've had for all these years, like it's not really, how do you collaborate on the light novel review? The podcast was the closest, but even then, mostly that was like not, that was a bunch of us getting together and sort of sharing our enjoyment of light novels. But it wasn't like you were collaborating with other YouTubers. It wasn't like you were creating joint projects. You know what I mean? And we'd love to do that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we'll be able to have the trailer. Where, like I said, the audio has been recorded, and then and I know CL has some definite visions for what she wants to do with it. So I think it is definitely going to be cool from what she has told me, and what I've seen of her work in the past. She does good stuff. So lots to look forward to there. And yeah, again, this is something that I'm really excited about. This feels like a really good direction to go. And as I said, it's got me very excited about writing and creating, and that's totally what I wanted to get out of things. So, in any case, everybody, again, thank you so very much for all your support here. I see some of you guys in the channel. I really appreciate the feedback and the kind words. There's, like I said, there have always been people here on this channel that have made me feel supported as a human being, not just as a light novel guy, or you know what I mean. Who saw me more as a person, not just as please give me more content, and I really appreciate that. This past year or so, well, I guess we're into 2022, and I mean, I said it in my last stream, but like, really, the past year and a bit have been very challenging. And it's been great and helpful to have people that still supported me and showed me support when really I didn't deserve a lot of it as far as being a YouTuber went, because I was not putting out a lot of content and I was not very enthusiastic about things. And, and as I said, even now I acknowledge that, there's a lot of people that are subscribed to this channel expecting certain content that's probably not going to happen. Or at least it's certainly not going to happen in any kind of frequency, regularity, or level of amount that I imagine most people would want or expect. So, I know that transition is always hard. Change is always difficult. But, at this point in my life, I've got to make those decisions that feel right. And this feels really good. This feels really right. I'm very excited about where it's going to go and what it can become. And, I'm hoping that some of you will come along for the journey. And I'm hoping that it's something that we can all become very excited about and enjoy. And, if you've listened to me read books and you're like, hey, Justus, I like your voice, man. I could listen to you read stuff. Then, hey, here's your opportunity. In any case, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. I hope you'll check things out. And I will talk to you hopefully a lot sooner. I won't leave it almost a damn month. I can't believe it's been almost a month. It feels like, holy crap, it just feels like the whole world stopped for like the last 4 weeks. It's just been so crazy. So crazy. Anyway, here's fingers crossed to a better 2022, a better year for all of us, turning some damn corners, because holy crap, we need to turn some damn corners. And I'll check you all out on the flip side. Take care, be safe, and bye-bye for now.